Work at the Refugee and Migrant Centre, which is in Waterloo Road in Wolverhampton, just a 5-minute walk away from here. And I'm the volunteer manager, so I'm responsible for recruiting volunteers for both the Wolverhampton Centre and our Birmingham Centre as well. We rely really heavily on volunteers to run the services that we run. We have around 30 staff across both centres, but we actually have about 100 volunteers, so 3 times as many volunteers as we have staff. We've been there quite a while. Did anyone know that we were there before? Hands up if you knew the Refugee and Migrant Centre there. A few people, okay. So we've been there since '99 actually, and the charity was set up by 2 refugees themselves. Artan is our CEO, and he's from Albania originally, and Mohammed is one of our lead caseworkers. So basically, it's a free advice and guidance centre for asylum seekers, refugees and vulnerable migrants, and we provide a range of services there. We've recently opened up a centre in Birmingham in the Jewellery Quarter as well since last July. That's quite a new centre, it's a smaller centre, and although we offer general advice and guidance, we wouldn't have the range of services that we offer in the Wolverhampton Centre. We're quite proud that last year we were one of 5 winners of the Guardian Charity of the Year award, so we have a short video to show you at the end of the presentation as well. Okay, so that's our mission statement. We're all about assisting refugees and migrants through crisis and disadvantage by removing barriers to their integration and enabling them to become equal citizens. It's quite a busy centre. We have around 100 clients accessing the centre on a daily basis. The Birmingham Centre is growing in numbers. I think we had about 7 clients on the first day we opened in July, and now we're up to 70 clients a day. We've already mentioned the amount of volunteers that we do rely on to deliver those services. So this is the range of services that we offer. We basically have a drop-in centre in the morning. We're open Monday, Tuesday, Thursday and Friday. And from 8:45 really, we start to have clients queuing to use the service. It's very much a first come, first served basis. So clients will arrive, they'll be given a ticket, and then they'll be seen by a caseworker on what we call a triage system. So they get a 15-minute appointment to assess what support they need, if they have any particular language needs, and then they'll be booked in for an afternoon appointment with the appropriate volunteer caseworker. So we've got Charles is one of our volunteer caseworkers, and he's going to talk a little bit about what he does later. So basically, advice and guidance can be on a range of things. It can be supporting asylum seekers, giving them advice on their asylum application. It can be on immigration, the types of benefits that they might have access to. We also have a health team, and we also advise on employment opportunities as well. We offer citizenship classes, so for people who have been given their refugee status, they have a right to remain in the UK and they want to apply for British citizenship. It's actually a Life in the UK test that they have to sit, costs £50, and we have 2 volunteers who run classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays, covering all the curriculum for that test. I've seen the paper for that and I don't think I'd pass it myself. It's a really, really tough test, so it's great that we have that support. And also we have ESOL classes as well. So we do have, at the moment, we have 2 students from Wolverhampton Uni who are studying linguistics, delivering ESOL classes to our clients on a Wednesday afternoon. And we also have a new employment project called Building Better Opportunities. That's for our clients who have a right to remain in the UK, a right to work, and it provides them with long-term support. So it might be supporting them with developing their IT skills, their English ability, support with job search, job applications, and again we've got around a dozen volunteers supporting that project as well. We also have a health project. For the last 3 years we've been offering health services to our clients. We have Georgia with us today, who's one of our volunteer health workers. So basically when clients come to the service and see a caseworker, they can be referred to see a health worker as well, and we'll talk a little bit more about the range of services that we offer in that a little bit later. We all probably heard the terms asylum seekers and refugees, but quite often they get confused with each other. So that's just a little slide just to make you guys aware of the difference. So an asylum seeker is someone who's come to the country and they've put in an application for their asylum. The reason that they've done that is because they're in fear of persecution in their own country, usually for one of 5 reasons, whether it's reasons of race, religion, nationality, membership of a particular social group, or political opinion. So when they come to the country, they can access asylum support, which is normally asylum accommodation, which is based on no choice basis, so they can be placed anywhere in the UK while their application is being processed. And they will receive a limited weekly allowance. If an asylum seeker is granted their leave to remain, they're given refugee status. They're normally granted what's called limited leave to remain for a period of 5 years. And during this time then, they can access benefits and they can apply for work as well. At the end of that 5 years, there's normally a review to see whether the situation in that home country is still there, if it's too dangerous for that person to return. And if it is, in that particular case, they'll be granted what's called indefinite leave to remain in the UK. Okay, so those are the kind of the range of health services that we have. I know that a lot of you guys you're doing your health and social care course. So for the last 3 years, we've been running these services. We've managed to get funding to run these services. So when clients come in, we can support them in registering for a GP, a dentist, optician. We also have a number of external health professionals who come into the centre to deliver services. So we have a health visitor who comes in every Tuesday. That's to work with any pregnant ladies that are accessing the centre, to advise them on what services are available for them locally. We also have Healthy Lifestyles coming every Tuesday and Thursday. They do basic health checks with our clients, check things like cholesterol, blood pressure, look at their lifestyle and diet, and also they can give clients free vouchers for leisure centres and things like that. We also have a latent TB clinic, so every 4 weeks we have nurses coming from New Cross Hospital. We normally have a full clinic where clients are tested for TB. What else? And we've recently started doing what's called a 5 Ways to Wellbeing course. So that's a 6-week course. It's working with clients to really improve their mental well-being and their physical well-being. So we actually have volunteers who are delivering this project. We have what are called wellbeing mentors. So each wellbeing mentor will have a number of clients that they're working with on a one-to-one basis over that 6-week course to make sure they're engaging in different activities and they have that support. And then finally we have 2 staff who are actually based at New Cross Hospital in the urgent care department, again to identify any clients such as asylum seekers or refugees, to raise awareness around the services that we offer at Refugee and Migrant Centre, and also to support them with some basic things like GP registration. So at the moment we only have 2 staff members who work on this. We have a manager who really gets all the funding for us, and we have a project coordinator, but the whole department is run by volunteers. So we rely heavily on volunteers to deliver these services. When a new client comes into the centre and they see a caseworker, they're normally referred upstairs to see a health volunteer, who the first thing they'll do is a client needs assessment. So they'll run through these things with the client and really try and map out what those clients' needs are so that they can offer that support over the coming months. And that's just an indication of sort of the amount of clients that we've had accessing some of those health services in the Wolverhampton Centre in the last 6 months. Those are the range of volunteer roles that we have in the centre. We have quite a lot. We have caseworker volunteers. Charles is going to talk a little bit more about what that role involves afterwards. And we have health volunteers, and George is going to talk a little bit about that afterwards. We also have employment volunteers who work on our Building Better Opportunities employment project, things like supporting clients with job search, job match, CV, interview skills, confidence building. We have interpreter volunteers. Languages are hugely important because obviously the clients that we're working with are coming from a range of different countries. Some of them don't speak any English at all. Some of them speak basic English. So we have, for example, one volunteer who's from Eritrea. He's with us 4 days a week. He's been with us over a year, and he's an Amharic speaker and Tigrinya speaker. And without him, those clients wouldn't be able to access that service. We have administration volunteers. So we have volunteers who work on our reception desk. So they're greeting the clients, issuing tickets. We have ESOL volunteers. We've talked a little bit about the wellbeing mentors. And we've also had a new role recently for outreach support volunteers. So this is supporting with refugee resettlement because it's working, this project is specifically working with Syrian refugees. We've recruited a dozen volunteers who are fluent Arabic or Kurdish speakers to offer that one-to-one support, to accompany them maybe to the GP, to register with the GP, accompany them to school, to enrol their children in school. So we're always developing new roles depending really on the needs of our clients. Health volunteers, this is kind of basically what the role involves. It's assisting with any health-related casework. It's really enabling clients to access the health services and also raising awareness of some of those health services that they can access as well. Quite often our clients will receive correspondence because of their level of English. They won't understand the letter or what they have to action with the letter. So a lot of what our health volunteers are doing as well are interpreting, explaining to the client what that correspondence is about and what they need to do. So quite often it's phoning up on their behalf as well to advocate for them. And signposting as well, signposting to what services we have in the local area. So what do we ask for from our volunteers? Commitment is really important. The roles that we have for volunteers are quite involved. There's an element of training involved. So we do ask for at least 3 to 6 months commitment because it can take a month really to get to grips with what the role is about. We ask for a minimum of 1 day a week. As you can see, we rely heavily on volunteers to run the services, so we actually ask for you to commit